Okay, so let's solve each equation. We're going to use the inverse operations to solve each of the equations. The first one, okay, I'm going to circle my variable. I'm going to separate my sides. Now, be careful here. This is a plus 11. What is being used? A plus, right? What's the inverse operation of plus again? Inverse operation of plus is minus, right? The inverse operation of minus is plus, right? What about times? What's the inverse operation of times? Divide, and the inverse operation of divide is times. So since this is a plus 11, and I know I have to get the variable by itself, I have to get rid of everything that's next to the variable. I have to use the inverse operation of plus, which is minus. So that means I have to subtract this number, 11, because positive 10 minus 11, that makes 0, that goes away. Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. So negative 4 minus 11. Okay, be careful here. Remember, we're not multiplying and we're not dividing. So even though you see two negative signs, doesn't make it go away. Only when you multiply or divide. When it comes to adding and subtracting, you can think of dogs and cats. You could think of money. Okay, so it's like saying, well, you borrowed $4 and then you borrowed another $11. Whenever you see a negative, you're borrowing. So you borrow 4, you borrow 11, how much do you owe? You owe 15, right? And that's a negative because you still owe. Whenever you don't have something, it's a negative. Bring down that equal sign. And then on this side, what's left? Only the variable, because whatever was here, we got rid of, right? That number that was there. So this is it. This is the answer. The whole point, the goal is to get the variable by itself. And the next one, circle the variable, separate my sides. This is n minus 8. I know I have to get rid of this number because it's next to the variable. So inverse operation of minus is plus. That means to get rid of this negative 8, I have to add 8 to make it go away. So the variable can be by itself. Then whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. That's the right side. Okay, and then, so only the variable is left, equals this side, the right side, 28. 20 plus 8 is 28. So that's my answer, n equals 28. Okay, solving for my variable v, separate my sides. Here, this is 9 times v, right? If they're stuck together like that, that's a time. So 9 times v equals negative 81. So since it's multiplied together, I have to use my inverse operation, which is divide. I have to divide the 9 to get rid of it, so that the variable can be by itself. And then same thing, whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. So if you did it to the left side, then you have to do it to the right side. So then from here, this is left with v. Bring down the equal sign. Then 81 divided by 9. Don't forget that this is divide, right? 81 divided by 9 is 9. But then you have a negative. So the negative divided by a positive, you only see one negative. So in this case, only when you multiply or divide, remember, you're dividing now, so then one negative gives you a negative answer. And then that is my answer. That's it. In the last one, d divided by negative 12 equals 3. So I'm going to circle my variable, separate my sides, and this is d divided by negative 12. The inverse operation of divide is multiply. So to get rid of this number here, Okay, because again, we need D to be by itself. I need to multiply this number. Make sure you divide the negative 12. The number is negative 12. So you're multiplying negative 12. That cross cancels out. Whatever you do to one side, remember you have to do to the other side. So 3 times negative 12. And again, the best way to write two numbers being multiplied is to write it in parentheses. And then, I can write that in parentheses too. So on this side, on my left side, I have D left by itself equals, and then the right side, it's 3 times negative 12. So first, 3 times 12 is 36. Okay, remember the number stays the same. I have only one negative sign. So that makes this, because it's multiplied. So D is negative 36. Okay, and that's it for this lesson. Thank you for watching Educator.com.